Hello there, CryptoWisers. It's me, your old friend Milton. I'm back with a new video. I know it's been a while, but here I am. Things have been a little bit shaky here in crypto land. We got the big crash a few weeks ago. It has been a very kind of bearish trend over the last few months, but in these times, there are amazing deals to be had, and I am doubling down on some of my very favorite Polkadot projects. As you know, if you watch this channel, that I am hyped for Polkadot. It's my very favorite Ethereum alternative. I got my basket of L1s, okay? I got a whole lot of Solana. I got some Avalanche. I got some Phantom. I even have me some Algorand. And yes, I got a whole bunch of Ethereum. But my very favorite, as you all know, is Polkadot. And Polkadot is coming alive, people. We got parachains starting to land. We got projects launching. So much is going to happen over the next few months. And there are so many amazing deals in Polkadot. I wanted to highlight for you today my count them, 5 top underrated Polkadot projects. These are projects that no one really is talking about. I have talked about them all on this channel before, and honestly, I believe in them more than ever, and they are at prices right now that you really cannot beat. So these are the 5 underrated Polkadot projects for me. These are the ones I am doubling down on because I've owned all of these for a long time, but with these prices as good as they are right now, I'm doubling down and I'm buying more. Okay, guys, before I share those 5 projects with you, of course, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell. You want to be subscribed to CryptoWise because it's not only your old friend Milton here, but you get all the NFT videos from Marvin. We're going to be doing some live shows again soon. Things are heating up, not only in crypto, but on CryptoWise. So make sure you are subscribed. All right, guys, so much going on Polkadot. Let's get into this. Okay, my top 5 underrated Polkadot projects right now. Okay, so those of you who are new to crypto, if you're just getting into crypto right now, and Polkadot especially, I am envious of you. Wow, you are coming in at an amazing time. So Polkadot, as we know, it is the only layer 0 blockchain, and it has a ton of parachains that are available to other projects that create their own layer 1s that go into the relay chain on Polkadot. I have been waiting years for these parachains to happen, and they are happening. Okay, so we have Akala and Moonbeam. Those are probably the top 2 talked about projects on Polkadot, and they've got their sister networks over on Kusama. That's Karura and Moon River. I've talked a lot about Moon River on this channel. Then we've got A-Star, we've got Parallel, we've got Clover, all have won parachains. Second batch is live. We've got Affinity, Composable, Centrifuge, Hydra, DX is the latest parachain. So what does this mean? Well, it means that Polkadot is coming in a big way. Right now we're seeing a lot of TVL, a lot of activity over on Avalanche and Solana and Phantom. Polkadot is just getting started. I think this is the year of DOT 100%. I have been so pumped about DOT. I've been really early, but I'd rather be early than late. But if you're coming in now, this is a beautiful time to come in on DOT because we are going to see a lot of red, okay? So this is CoinMarketCap. These are the Polkadot projects. And if we go into the 7-day, okay, you're going to see a lot of red here, down 36%, down 30%, down 29%. And this is after months of a bearish trend. So you're getting in at really great prices here. And now I'm not saying go all in. Okay, this is not financial advice by any means. And not even I am going all in here because we could see some more down action. Nothing is guaranteed. But at these prices, I cannot wait any longer. I need to start DCAing into some of these projects to accumulate bigger bags. Because as I said, I own all of these projects so far, but I want more because I'm greedy that way. And I love all 5 of these projects. So the first one I am looking at accumulating more of is, of course, Kilt protocol. Kilt, blue chip project, all about identity credentials online, okay? Being able to verify your credentials online without sharing your data. This is going to be a huge, huge use case. They decided to build on Polkadot. And this project for me is a no-brainer. I want to accumulate as much Kilt as I can. As I said, I love the use case. A blockchain identity protocol for issuing self-sovereign, anonymous, verifiable credentials and decentralized identifiers. I love the team, top-notch all around, and really, it just hasn't launched yet. And so it's not really hyped. People aren't using it yet, but they are going to. I think, in my opinion, these guys are at the forefront of what is going to be a huge wave in Web3. Now, as we can see here, this is the chart for all time. Kilt came out in about October, and it was trying to find its price. It went all the way above $12, but there was like a tiny circulating supply. And since then, it's really just kind of been going down, down, and down, and down, and down, and down, because really nothing has been happening yet. This isn't a project that is hyping itself at all. They are just building. This is going to be one of those that really gives meaning to the whole slowly, suddenly. And if we look at the numbers here, the tokenomics, so you got a circulating supply of just under 50 million Kilt. So not many out there. The max supply is under 300 million Kilt. And then we've got a total supply of about 150 million. But market cap here, 84 million. This is ridiculously low, fully diluted market cap of under 500 million. In my opinion, again, ridiculously low. I never thought I would see Kilt at these prices, to be very honest. $1.71 for Kilt right now is a steal. Now, one of the main reasons for this is it's very hard to get. You know, it's really only trading on Kraken. You can see very low volume. You can't really buy a ton of it without moving the price. And so we're just kind of seeing stagnant prices here. Although recently in this last day, there's been a big drop off here. We went from $1.86 and now boom, down to $1.70. This is a no-brainer in my opinion. Now, the first main project that they're launching here is called Social KYC, which is essentially allows you to KYC based on verifying your social accounts without sharing those social accounts with people. So instead of having to share your email or your Twitter account or your GitHub account, you will be able to verify that you own those accounts without sharing them through Kilt. So this is an article they published on February 3rd. Social KYC recently launched. In short, it's a service that lets you get credentials which validate that you own various social accounts. Right now, that means email and Twitter, although I hear rumors that Discord and GitHub are coming soon. And it says, why not just use my account directly? Because by using credentials to prove your ownership of an account, you protect your data. You break data silos, you increase trust, portability, and value. This is a great article to look at, but basically a huge thing about Web3 is keeping control of your own data. So, you know, creating all these memberships everywhere with your email and creating a password, all that kind of stuff, forget it. In the future, you're just going to use something like Kilt, boom, verify yourself. You don't have to share anything. You don't have to worry about them getting hacked, your data leaking, or them using your data, to profit off of you. So this is a huge use case. And this social KYC has already started. So if you go here, social KYC, you can try it out. Basically, what you got to do is you got to download their wallet, which is a web browser wallet. It's called Sporran, S-P-O-R-R-A-N. I've already connected a few identities, and I'm kind of playing around with it. I haven't actually used it on other platforms yet, but I've attached my identities to the wallet. Very interesting stuff, and I think this is going to blow up in the next year or two. So 100% Kilt, one of my top 5 underrated projects. All right, so that's the number one, and these are not in any particular order. These are all 5 that I love, but Kilt for sure at these prices, for me, a no-brainer. Alrighty, moving right along. My next top 5 underrated Polkadot project is Polkadex. Yes, Polkadex. Now, you may have heard us talk about Polkadex on the channel. Actually, one of my last videos was an interview with the executive director of Polkadex, Mr. Vivek Prasannan, and that's in this video here, Polkadot Ready to Take Off. So if you want to check that out, please do. Also, we did do a CryptoWise chats back in the day with Mr. Vivek Prasannan. That's this one here. If you do not know about our CryptoWise chats, series. These are long, in-depth interviews with the top minds in crypto. Make sure to check those out, especially for you guys who are really into doing your own research and digging deep into these projects. Put simply, Polkadex is aiming to be the trading engine for Web3 and DeFi. Okay, they are going to be an order book with essentially unlimited liquidity on all sorts of chains. They are building on Substrate, but they will have bridges to Ethereum and all sorts of other chains as well. So if you use something like FTX or Binance, you're used to this order book here layout, but this will be a decentralized exchange that acts like an order book. So you could put order entries in, and they're going to have liquidity, as I said, for all of the chains, and essentially they are aiming to be one of the fastest, if not the fastest exchange in all of crypto. As you can see here, unmatched performance, BTC, ETH. This is transactions per second. We all know that ETH is super slow. They only do to about 20 transactions per second right now. If you look at PayPal, 193, Visa, 24,000. Well, Polkadex is aiming to have about 500,000 transactions per second. If they're able to do that, that would be incredible. And like all these tokens now, the price of the PDEX token has taken a beating recently. If we look at the all-time chart, we can see that its all-time high was up over $36, and now we're sitting at $6.50. With all of these projects today, these are ones where I think you're getting very good entry prices in, especially if you're building a Polkadot portfolio. These are ones that you should definitely look into. Now, Polkadex does trade on some of the major exchanges. It's on KuCoin, it's on Gate.io, but you can also get it on Uniswap as well. And their mainnet did launch, so you can bridge over once you get the PDEX token. That you'll probably be getting that on the Ethereum chain, but then you can bridge over to their mainnet and stake it if you would like on the PDEX mainnet. One of the very exciting things about Polkadex also is they do not have a parachain yet, but they announced recently that they are launching their crowd loan, and they are not going for Kusama. They're going directly for a Polkadot parachain. This is them here. So another great thing to do right now is, if you are interested in Polkadex, is actually just buying a bunch of DOT, lending it to Polkadex so they can get their parachain, and you'll be rewarded in PDEX, approximately about 12 PDEX per Polkadot, depending on how many people go into their crowd loan or not. I think they're going to get a parachain very soon. They just launched this. They have about 125,000 DOT already locked in. I could see them jumping up here, maybe not getting the next one or two, but I think they'll be in contention after that. And at DOT, at the prices it is at right now, it's never a bad idea to stock up on DOT. And this way you could stock up on DOT and get yourself some PDEX, or you can just go out and buy it. Now, if you go to their website here, polkadex.trade, they have their crowd loan information right on here. A whole page here. You contribute right here on this page. Gives you all the information of how it all works, what you would get back for your DOT, etc., etc. This is definitely one that I'm going to be supporting, even though I own some PDEX already. The way that I'm going to double down on PDEX is supporting their crowd loan, because the faster these projects get their parachains, the faster they can fulfill this potential that they have. And if you believe in these projects, you want them to get that parachain. That locks them into Polkadot and the full ecosystem. And with something like Polkadex, this is actually very important for the rest of the project. So look, if they are going to be a liquidity order book, this is something that is missing from Polkadot right now, is there's no real kind of DeFi dApps out there that are easy to use, that are comparable to the ones on other chains like Ethereum or whatnot. Polkadex would be that. So say something like Kilt and the other tokens I'm about to talk about in this video, they would all then be able to trade here on Polkadex. And the more places they can trade, the more easily accessible those tokens are, then obviously the value is going to start going up, because people will be able to get it easily. One other aspect that I'm excited about here, also I just want to point this out, ecosystem partner. So when you see Kilt here as an ecosystem partner, they don't spell it out here, but that that, I think the first step of that partnership is going to be using the social KYC that I was talking about on Kilt. So you'll be able to verify yourself here on Polkadex using Kilt, not giving them your data. So as we go through these projects, you'll see most of the Polkadot projects are all working together to build this kind of massive ecosystem, because interoperability is huge on Polkadot. And right now, if you're in crypto, you're used to using the dApps yourself. You know you're using the dApps. But as we move more mainstream, you're going to have dApps where people are just using it and they don't realize, oh, actually that one dApp is using like 4 or 5 parachains, and that's just all happening in the background. And the user experience from a UI perspective is, is seamless. You don't even know that you're using crypto. So Polkadot is really going to be allowing us to kind of move towards that with the interoperability that it has. Also, the last thing I just want to say here about Polkadex that I am excited about is this, the Polkadex IDO palette. So once Polkadex launches, they're going to be offering other projects the ability to launch their own token using the Polkadex IDO palette, and they'll be able to do IDOs over Polkadex. This is when projects launch, and they're doing their initial token sale, which is a way for them to kind of raise capital, to kind of fulfill whatever it is that their project they're trying to build. We've seen a lot of launch pads do really well on other chains. Well, you're going to see the ability for Polkadex to do IDOs. Another thing that's coming out pretty quick with Polkadex is going to be the mobile version. So these guys, they've been working a long time on this. So once that parachain is secure, and even before that, I think you're going to see with the mobile version and with the order book launching, it's still right now, it's still in beta. But once people start using Polkadex, I think it's going to be gaining a lot of traction. That's why it is on my list of top 5 underappreciated, under the radar Polkadot projects. Okay, doke, moving right along. If you watch the channel, you know I'm a huge fan of this project, Integritee Network and their tier token. The tier token has launched. Integritee has secured their parachain on Kusama, so all systems go. One of the reasons I love this project, these are the kind of projects I look out for. It has a very specific use case that can be used mostly for business-to-business transactions, okay? So this project does not rely on the degens like you and I to just speculate on their token. They are building something that they can sell to businesses that will bring value to the tier token. That's why I love seeing them included on a list like this one. So this is an article all about startups in Switzerland, the 10 super promising Swiss startups to watch in 2022. So this is not a crypto specific article, but you will find on this list, yes, here we go, Integritee, a Zurich-based startup that was founded in 2021, raised a total of 5.6 million euro to bring the most scalable public blockchain solution for securely processing sensitive business or personal data. You can harness the speed and confidentiality of trusted execution environments, TEEs, combined with the trust of a decentralized network. They provide a highly secure and scalable system through which companies and developers can build broader, fairer, and more secure data-driven products and services, all without compromising on privacy. So if you guys are wondering why I love Integritee so much, this is a big reason why. They don't need to be successful in the retail speculative crypto space. Whether you buy tier or I buy tier or your cousin Johnny buys tier, it does not matter. They are not focused on that. They are building something that they can sell to other businesses. It has a clear use case that every business can use, and that will bring value to the tier token, which is why I want in on it. So speaking of the token, if we look at it here, so this is a crazy chart because they launched the token, kind of soft launched it in December. So it's only been out for a couple of months, but there's no volume really. Okay. So it really only trades on gate.io. So you can see here, 65,000, that's peanuts. It's nothing. There's no volume. There's no real liquidity in tier, but good that it is accessible there so that you can snag some if you are interested. I love the tokenomics of tier, only 10 million max supply. It also has a deflationary aspect to it. This market cap of under $2 million. I mean, that is amazing. Fully diluted market cap under 28 million. It's really hard to find a quality project like tier with these kind of tokenomics and a fully diluted market cap under 28 million. So at $2.76, again, if you're out there and you're just new to crypto and you're looking at the price of these tokens, don't worry about price. It's all about market cap. There's only 10 million tier ever. So it will have a higher price per token. 276 is nothing. It is so low right now. So I am really expecting big things from Integritee this year and beyond. One of the big things that they just released an article about is they achieved feature complete side chains. Now, this was a big milestone for them to be able to execute on their potential. And it says that right here in the article, Integritee completed a significant milestone today, feature complete side chains. This achievement paves the way to a future of unpermissioned access to trusted execution environments, TEEs, hence the name Integritee, on substrate blockchains such as Polkadot and the Kusama network via a fast second layer network. So why are these side chains important? Well, when they first developed Integritee in order to process incoming transactions and determine what order they should be executed in, every transaction needed to pass through the main blockchain in a process known as indirect invocation. This requirement produced a bottleneck that affected the speed and potential scalability of the solution. Thus, in order to make access to TEEs faster and more scalable, we developed a second layer sidechain protocol that could provide consensus on the ordering of transactions without needing to interface with the main chain. So this is super important. It allows them to scale Integritee the way that they need to. Another reason I am super bullish on the progress of this project. So Integritee Network, still love it. I have a big bag of tier already, and I'm going to continue to accumulate because I think this one can be huge. Okay, moving right along. Project number 4, Kylin Network. Kylin is a project I've talked a lot about. I got into this one way too early, obviously, in terms of the price action, but I still believe in it because I am huge on decentralized data and all the major projects that are working on this. I think Kylin can be one of the top projects doing this kind of thing, essentially trying to create an economy around data in Web3. They've done a lot of great work here on their website. Since the last time I talked about them, they've updated it. They've really clarified their value proposition. If you don't know about Kylin yet, I definitely recommend coming here, Kylin.network, checking it out because there is a lot to learn and they do a good job at describing it. But essentially, the whole idea is that data is now the most valuable commodity that the world has, more valuable than oil, more valuable than gold, and maybe perhaps even more valuable than Bitcoin. But how do you extract the value out of data? Well, you're going to need a lot of different tools, especially in Web3. Kylin is building all of those. One, they're building a marketplace so that you can buy and sell different data sets. They're building oracles so that you can take data from the outside world and put it on chain. And they're building all sorts of analytic tools for the crypto blockchain space and also different ways of storing that data. As they say here, they want to be a one-stop shop for data assets. So the oracles, the analytics, the marketplace, etc., etc. I've loved this project from before they even launched. I think Polkadot is the perfect place for this. All right, so let's look at the Kylin token. That is the Kyl, K-Y-L token. It's been out for a while, and it has taken a huge beating since its all-time highs. Now, all these projects I'm talking about today, they're all altcoins. They're all, I would say, high-risk assets. I own them all. I own them all in my high-risk allocation. And, of course, the market right now is very choppy. Now, look. Do I wish I was coming at these projects today instead of when I did, which was earlier when they were worth a lot more? Of course I would. Today, I think, is an amazing day. If you're new to these projects, I think these are all amazing opportunities for you at these prices. Kylin, especially at 6 cents. But that doesn't mean it's not high risk anymore. Of course, it's high risk because all these projects have super ambitious goals It's not to say that all of them are going to be able to achieve that. It's just a matter of really believing in the value proposition they're offering, believing in the team, believing in the vision, seeing the track record of the people that have built it, what they've been doing so far. Kylin especially launched their token about a year ago, and we've seen the team work, build, execute on the things they said they were going to execute on. And a couple of things have kept the token price down. One was the private investors, okay? A lot of people got in on the private sale of Kylin, very, very cheap. And then we saw them basically, they were getting their tokens monthly, and we saw that was kind of all this price action here. We saw them basically sell every month. And this happens to a lot of projects where you'll see the private investors who got in really cheap sell after their tokens have vested. So what I love about Kylin right now is all that's done. All the private investors, they've gotten their tokens long ago, a few months ago, that stopped. So that selling pressure is now gone, and we're closer to seeing the realization of Kylin in that they're going to be going after the parachain very soon. So it's sitting just under 7 cents here. Its all-time high was over $2. Then we saw it go all the way down to about 20 cents for a while. We saw last year in the fall, as things started to pump, we saw Kylin actually pump. It went back up to over 60 cents, but then since then it has been kind of a slow decline down, and it's pretty much at all-time low territory, which is why I really like it from a risk standpoint right now if you're just getting in now. Speaking of that parachain, they've put out a schedule here on Twitter. They announced that they think they're going to be getting their auction around the 28th auction of parachain. So that would be in March, and they are going to be going for a Kusama parachain first. And like some of these other projects that I'm talking about, they're going to have a sister project for that parachain, and it's called Pichu. So first they'll be launching a parachain on Kusama called Pichu. But if you own Kylin tokens, like if you purchase them today, you would then be airdropped a certain amount of Pichu tokens once Pichu launches on Kusama as a Kylin holder. And then once they have that parachain going, eventually Kylin itself will look to get a parachain on Polkadot. Another thing that they recently launched, which I think is great for Kylin holders, is they finally launched their own internal staking. So when Kylin first launched, you were able to stake it on MatraDAO for a little bit, then that stopped, and there really hasn't been any utility to the token, which has added to that selling pressure. Well, they just launched staking for Kylin. So if you get yourself some Kylin, you can also stake it here. And right now the APY is at 50% annually. We can see that the circulating supply is about $250 million. There is a total supply of 1 billion. And they just launched this staking, and already 35 million tokens of Kyle are staked. So that's 13% of the circulating supply is staked already, and they just launched this very recently. And that other just over $750 million of Kyle is locked, and that has a very long vesting to build out the project over the next years. And that also includes an allocation for that Polkadot parachain when that comes along. So anyway, as a Kyle holder, I was very stoked about this new staking function. So here's an article in Crypto Slate all about Kylin Network going after its parachain for Pichu, like I was telling you. So they are determined to get a parachain for Pichu on Kusama in March. And that means just around the corner. If you watch the channel, you know I am a huge fan of .marketcap. That's .marketcap.com. And if you just go here to auction Kusama, and when the next batch of auctions start, which I imagine Pichu will be part of, that information will all be here, and how you can join the crowd loan. Or of course, I'm sure they will also have that information on Kylin.network. Okay, and the final underrated Polkadot project at the moment is Sora Network, another project that I've talked a ton about on the channel. Still love its potential, and huge news on this one, obviously. Many chains, one economy, Sora Kusama. They did get a parachain on the Kusama network. As they say, the Sora Kusama parachain is here, which means that PolkaSwap, which is their DEX, and it's a great DEX that they've built, but no one uses it because it's kind of in its own silo right now, will be connected to Kusama once interoperability on Kusama happens, and Polkadot, forget it. I think a ton of people will realize how great a DEX PolkaSwap is, and that's going to breathe new life into the Sora network. Okay, so Sora is a hugely ambitious project. Really, they're trying to create an entire economy on their parachain or in their network. Now, look, I don't know. That's hugely ambitious. Whether they'll be able to pull that off or not, who knows? But I think Sora, either way, has a ton of value because these guys know how to build blockchains. They know how to build dApps on blockchains. They really understand the technology. So regardless if they're able to actually fulfill the huge ambition that they have for the project, I think this is going to be a successful network nonetheless. They have 3 tokens that go along with it right now. The Zor token, that's their main token. Then they've got their Val token, which is if you are a validator of the Sora network, you get rewarded in Val. And then PSwap is the token of PolkaSwap. Okay, so let's just have a very quick look at the tokens here. This is the Zora token XOR, down at $77 right now, pretty much at its all-time low. All 3 of these tokens will be. Next is their Val token, their validator token. This is sitting in just over 28 cents market cap, just under $117,000. That's how low this stuff is right now. And again, it's pretty much at its all-time low. Then we got PolkaSwap, which is just under 2 cents right now. The PSwap token, PSWAP. And again, we're looking at all-time lows here. This chart is all effed up, but market cap just under 54 million. The thing to understand is they've built out this amazing DEX, this great blockchain. Okay, so this is PolkaSwap here. If you've never seen it, it's polkaswap.io. As you can see, I got one of my wallets attached to it. I got a bit of ZAR in here. The UI is great. It works amazing. And once their parachain launches and the interoperability, as I said, of Polkadot launches, I think this is going to become one of the main dexes in the Polkadot ecosystem, obviously. And they've already got a ton of tokens on here on PolkaSwap, including the XSTUSD. XSTUSD, that's the Sora stablecoin. So they have their own synthetic stablecoin as part of the Sora network, but they've got 184 tokens already on here. Fees are super cheap. Liquidity sometimes isn't great, but as I said, once Polkadot actually launches, you're going to see all the DOT and Kusama tokens here. This is going to be one of the best places to grab them. Gas fees are super cheap. Works super great. And they've already got an Ethereum bridge, their Hashi bridge. So you can bridge over any tokens from the Ethereum network already. I've used this bridge a ton of times already. Works great. So they're ready to go. That's the whole point that I'm saying is this project is ready to go and they needed that parachain. They've got it now. Once they launch, once they connect to everything, I think we're going to see a huge price increase for their tokens. All right, guys, those are my top 5 underrated Polkadot projects at the moment. These are long-term holds for me. As I said, I got in on most of these way higher than where the price is now, and I'm not worried about it. This is my Polkadot basket, kind of my own personal Polkadot ETF. I love the potential of all 5 of these projects, and we have not yet experienced the potential of Polkadot yet. I think that's coming in the coming months. So if you're new to Polkadot, this is an amazing time to start researching. Research DOT, research Kusama, and all the parachain projects and the ones to come. Because once this thing fully launches and people fully understand what it's bringing to the blockchain space, you're not going to be able to get in at these prices. But of course, like all the other networks, it's also tied to the overall crypto market, which right now is very shaky. So as always, be careful, especially with the macroeconomic outlook right now. That is the thing I am most scared of right now. All the stuff going on in Russia, inflation, regulation, that's the stuff that's scaring me and making me slightly cautious. But in terms of believing in crypto and the future of crypto, I have no doubt that crypto is here to stay, is going to disrupt pretty much every industry there is. And I definitely want the majority of my investments in crypto. Not financial advice, of course. And the 5 projects I talked about today are 5 that I'm betting on. I don't expect all 5 of them to hit, although they could, but these are 5 within Polkadot that I am betting on. All right, CryptoWisers, great to be with you again. Thanks as always for watching. And before you go, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. I'm Milton. Until next time, over and out.